After my 14-hour ER shift, the bank gave me a $0 statement. There's semblance restless. The fluorescent lights of the ER still burned behind my eyelids as I walked through the revolving door of my apartment building. 14 hours of triage, charting, and forgotten code blues left my body humming with exhaustion. Phone buzzed insistently in my pocket. A notification from the bank. I swiped it open. $0. I stared at the screen, willing it to recalculate, willing it to be some technical glitch. Then her text came. Short, clipped, cold. Just work more night shifts, my sister. $28,000, years of careful saving, gone. And somehow, she smiled while suggesting I just work more. I leaned against the elevator wall, hand pressed to my forehead, taste metallic from fatigue and disbelief. The first wave was shock. The second, a quiet, simmering anger, kind that erupts in yelling, but the kind that sharpens every nerve, focuses the mind. I could replay every interaction, loan she'd borrowed, every favor I'd extended thinking it was family trust. I showered, stripped off the ER stench, dressed in something neutral but professional. Not for her, for myself, for control. VIP lounge at the bank was quieter than I remembered. Polished marble, low lighting, the faint scent of espresso and expensive leather. I walked in, careful to keep my posture composed, my expression unreadable. Staff greeted me politely, offering water, brochures. I nodded, silent. I waited, the initial humiliation of discovery settle into something more strategic. Then he appeared. An agent. FBI, though it didn't register until his badge was in my line of sight. His voice was precise, cold, unmistakable. Do not move. You just committed federal wire fraud. Everything constricted for a moment. My pulse, my stomach. Shock and disbelief tangled with that faint, almost ironic sense of vindication. Not because I wanted trouble, because I had been seeking revenge, but because authority, real authority, had entered the room. The betrayal I had endured in silence now had an external acknowledgement. The scales had shifted, visibly. I raised my hands slowly, careful not to make sudden gestures. He circled, handcuffs visible, eyes trained on me with the certainty of procedure. Sister's cold smile flashed in my memory. I clenched my jaw. That smile could no longer dictate my life. Interrogation that followed was procedural. Minimalized conversation, documentation, verification. I answered calmly, clearly, with nothing to hide. The physical presence of law replaced the emotional chaos that had threatened to consume me. Rage did not disappear, but it was controlled, cataloged, professional. In the waiting room afterward, I allowed myself a brief exhale. No victory parade, no cinematic satisfaction, just a quiet reclamation. My sister's theft, her betrayal, remained morally unresolved. Power dynamic had shifted. For the first time since seeing that $0 balance, boundaries exist outside her manipulations. Walking out of the bank, I felt the weight of years of overwork, over-trust, over-silence. The 28,000 could be recovered, or maybe not, but the important thing was the recognition that I would not be dismissed, ignored, or taken advantage of again without consequence. No one clapped, no one cheered. Just me, the city noise outside, and the subtle, undeniable knowledge that I had regained something more valuable than money. Dignity, control, a silent, calm authority of my own. The family line was fractured. That fracture would not heal overnight, and perhaps it never would. But within that fracture, carved a space for myself. And for the first time in a long time, I did not flinch at her presence in my life. I did not plead, not justify. I simply existed, intact and measured. I returned home, the hum of the city filling my ears. Exhaustion lingered. Beneath it was a strange clarity. The betrayal stung. The loss remained. But the leverage, quiet, undeniable, professional, was mine. And in that I found a calm victory no one else could take away.